Have you ever bought a bag of sandwich bread with ingredients that you can hardly pronounce? Well, today I'm going to show you an easy way for you to make your own sandwich bread at home and with very simple ingredients. Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with others. I'll be posting the ingredients in the description below as well as other very useful links. Without further ado, let's jump right into the recipe. I have 3 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour, a cup and a quarter of warm whole milk. The milk should not be too hot to avoid hurting the yeast, no higher than 110 degrees Fahrenheit. To that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and I like to use non-iodized salt, and 2.25 teaspoons of dry yeast. I want to clarify that I'm using active dry yeast and not instant yeast. And we're going to give all of that a good whisk. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I personally like to use olive oil on my bread. And we're going to whisk all that together. Here I have a funny looking whisk that some people call Danish dough whisk and others call it a broad pisker. I find it effective when combining wet and dry ingredients, but you can perfectly use a spatula. But if you're interested, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Next, I'm going to dig a little well in my flour and then add the milk mixture. Next, I'm going to combine as much as I can the flour with the milk mixture before switching to my hands. My hand is wet and I'm going to continue incorporating everything until my bowl is almost clean with no flour residue at the bottom or on the sides. And if needed, you can wet your hand again. And now I'm going to cover it with a plastic wrap. You can also cover it with a plate or even with a lid. Next, I'm going to let it rest for about 25 to 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, I'll be doing the first set of stretch and folds. I grab it from the bottom and then I fold it towards the top as I rotate the bowl. I'll be doing about 4 to 6 stretch and folds. Next, I'm going to grab the dough with both hands, tuck it inside, and form a little ball. I'll be covering it again and let it rest for about 25 to 30 more minutes. And I'll repeat this process about 3 more times. Now we're going to proceed to do the second set of stretch and folds. Tuck it inside and form another ball. Place it back into the mixing bowl and cover it with a plastic wrap for another set of 25 to 30 minutes. And after about 30 minutes, this is the third set of stretch and folds. As you do this, you're going to notice that the dough is going to present more resistance and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to do the stretch and folds. But this is normal for the type of dough that we are making. And now we're going to let it rest one more time for about 25 to 30 minutes. And this is the last set of stretch and folds. Now we're going to cover it and let it rise for about 1 to 2 hours until it doubles or triples in size. The amount of time depends on the temperature in your kitchen. I'll be using a 9 by 5 inches loaf pan, and I'm going to grease it with some butter at room temperature. Now I'm going to sprinkle it with a little bit of flour, and I'm going to tap it around to coat all of the sides. It's been 1.5 hours and my dough has tripled in size. It's looking beautiful. But we're going to deflate it very soon. I'll be dusting a clean countertop with flour. Then I'm going to transfer the dough to the countertop. And I'm also coating my rolling pin with some flour. Begin in the center and stretch towards the end. We're trying to stretch the dough and make it smooth. We're going to create somehow the form of a rectangle or an oval. It doesn't have to be perfect at this stage. Next, we're going to grab one of the ends and roll it into a log. And I'll be placing it in the loaf pan with the seam side down. I like to press it gently with my hand to make it level and even. Now I'm going to cover it loosely with a plastic wrap. I want the dough to have enough space to rise and grow. And I'll let it rest for about 1 to 2 hours until the dough rises just above the edge of the loaf pan. And here is the dough after 2 hours. It's ready for baking. I'm going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll remove the plastic wrap and place the dough in the center or middle rack of the oven and bake it for about 25 to 30 minutes. It depends on your oven. And after 30 minutes, my bread is ready, but it's not ready to be consumed yet. I'll be placing it on a cooling rack, and immediately I'm going to rub the top of my bread with butter. This is going to make the crust nice and soft. And we're going to let the bread cool down completely before we slice it for about 1 to 2 hours. And after about 2 hours, my bread has completely cooled down. I'm going to place it on a cutting board. This bread is so soft and delicious. Once you start making your own sandwich bread, you might not want to go back to store-bought bread. If you're planning on storing this bread, I suggest that you wait until all of the slices have completely cooled down. You might find that the inside of the bread is still a little bit warm. Look at this delicious slice of bread. It is very spongy and it's also very nice and sturdy for sandwiches. And the taste is even better. It tastes so fresh and delicious. Nothing compares to homemade bread. I like to use a freezer bag to store the bread, but I keep it on the countertop. Some people don't like to store the bread in the refrigerator, but I have found that if you use a freezer bag and you seal it really well, it's going to keep its freshness and softness in the fridge for a long time, up to a week. You can also freeze this bread and then simply bring it to room temperature or place it in the toaster oven. And the following morning, I like to put a slice in the toaster oven and add some butter. When you toast this bread, it is so airy and crunchy and soft, just perfect to treat yourself to a very nice breakfast. And there you have it. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video with somebody who might find it helpful. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Have a wonderful and very blessed day.